Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me for story time today. We have a really fun story time and I have some clues to see if you can guess what it's all about. I've got this big basket here with lots of things inside and they all have something in common. So let's see if you can tell what it is. I've got a big orange pumpkin. I have, oh look at this comes from the earth. I have a potato. I have this beautiful purple onion and a wonderful cucumber. What's this one? That's right, it's an ear of corn. And what else do I have in here? I have this leafy green lettuce. And this bright orange bell pepper. What else do I have? Ooh, look at this ripe, round, red tomato. And this broccoli. Yum, I love broccoli. Do you like broccoli? It's pretty good. And I've got this beautiful purple eggplant. All of these items, the broccoli, the tomato, the lettuce, the corn, the cucumber, the pumpkin, the potato, the onion, they all have something in common. Do you know what it is? That's right, they're all vegetables. Today's story time is all about vegetables. There are so many different types of vegetables and they're all so wonderful. And that's what our first book is all about. Our book is Radishes, a vegetable chant by April Pulley, Sayre. And it goes like this. Radishes, red and white. Carrots are calling, take a bite. Oh boy, bok choy, Brussels sprout. Broccoli, cauliflower, shout it out. Yum, I love broccoli and cauliflower. Pile up peppers, bananas, bells. Crunch their colors, smell their smells. Call for cayenne, pick poblano. Hola habanero, jalapeno, serrano. Lettuce, lima, go green bean. Cucumber cools, kohlrabi's queen. Look at those wonderful kohlrabi. Beautiful. Eggplants extraordinary. Pumpkins art. Don't eat zucchini. Time to start. Zucchini's pretty good too if you haven't tried that one yet. Shag some sweet corn. Shuck an ear. Celebrate celery. Give a cheer. Onion, scallion, leek, and shallot. Grab that garlic. Please your palate. I love this photo of this wonderful garlic all together. Isn't that beautiful? Head for cabbage, greens for sale. Fall for fennel, Swiss chard kale. Roots for rutabagas, bounce for beets. Pile up parsnips, turnip treats. Stash some squash, fill your cupboard. Butternut, buttercup, acorn hubbard. Potatoes, tomatoes, yum, a yam. Slice 'em, mash 'em, wham, wham, wham. Ask for asparagus, pea pods, please. Thank you, farmers. Thank you, bees. Sun and seasons, leaf and stalk. Grow them, know them. Veggies rock. Veggies really do rock. There's so many different types and they're all so colorful and beautiful and of course delicious to eat. And the next thing I have for you is a little song about vegetables. It's a short little song, so I might sing it twice. And it goes like this. Carrots, peas, and broccoli, vegetables are good for me. For my snack or in my lunch, Veggie Sticks are fun to crunch. Carrot, peas, and broccoli, vegetables are good for me. Let's sing that one more time. Carrot, peas, and broccoli, vegetables are good for me. for my snack or in a lunch. Veggie sticks are fun to crunch. Carrot, peas, and broccoli. Vegetables are good for me. How very nice, very nice. And this brings us to our last story. It's a story called Pickin' Peas. And this is a story that I know because it was collected by Margaret MacDonald, who would go around and collect different folk tales around the nation. And this story comes from Alabama, and I believe it was collected from a family of Black Americans. And if you like this story, you can read the picture book version that we have at our library. It's called Pickin' Peas, as retold by Margaret MacDonald. And this will be my telling of Pickin' Peas based on that. It goes like this. Little girl's favorite vegetable was peas. And so when it came time to grow or came time to plant, she would plant row after row of peas. And when the peas would come up, she got so excited. She'd go out and start picking them right away. And she would go out up and down the rows and start picking just the biggest, fattest peas that were ready to be eaten. And she'd leave behind those little peas that needed to grow a little bit more. And as she picked those peas, she would sing a little song. And it went like this. I'm picking peas, I put them in my pail. Picking peas, put them in my pail. Picking peas, I put them in my pail. Now there was someone else who lived in the garden. It was Rabbit. And when Rabbit heard the little girl's song, picking peas, put them in my pail, Rabbit knew that it was pea season and those peas were ready. And he'd hop on out to the garden and follow the little girl along. And he'd start picking those little peas that she'd left behind and start gobbling them up. And as he picked those peas, he'd sing a little song. Picking peas, I'm falling on my knees. I'm picking peas, I'm falling on my knees. Picking peas, I'm falling on my knees. And so the little girl would walk along, picking those bigger, fatter peas, and she'd sing, I'm picking peas, I put them in my pail. Picking peas, put them in my pail. And Rabbit would follow along singing, picking peas, falling on my knees. Picking peas, falling on my knees. Now, of course, the little girl didn't know that Rabbit was there, or else she would have stopped him. But she suddenly started to get this feeling, that feeling that you get when you feel someone might be following you. And the little girl had an idea. She would keep going along and she'd keep singing her song, but she would stop short just to see what would happen. So she sang her song, picking peas, put 'em in my pail, picking peas, put 'em in my pail, I'm picking peas. And she stopped, and when she stopped, she heard, falling on my knees. And little girl knew exactly what was up. She turned around quick as could be, and she grabbed that Rabbit. And she said, Rabbit, that is the last time you steal peas from my garden. And she scoops Rabbit up, brings him to her house, and puts him in a box, and said, you are going to stay in that box until pea season is over. Now, Rabbit did not want to stay in the box until pea season was over, because how would he get peas if he was stuck in the box? So Rabbit had an idea. And the idea began by singing his song in the box. And he sang his picking peas, falling on my knees, picking peas, falling on my knees. And every time he'd say, falling on my knees, he'd do this little hop. So he'd say, picking peas, I'm falling on my knees, picking peas, I'm falling on my knees. And this was causing quite a commotion. And the little girl was getting more and more curious. And she said, Rabbit, what are you doing in that box? Well, I'm just singing and dancing. The little girl was very curious about this. And she said, dancing? Oh, I would love to see that. I would love to see a rabbit dance. Well, you can see my dance, said the Rabbit, but you'd have to take me out of the box. The little girl said, well, okay, I'll take you out of the box, but no funny business. And she takes Rabbit out of the box and puts him on the box, and Rabbit starts doing his little song. Picking peas, I'm falling on my knees, hop. I'm picking peas, I'm falling on my knees. And little girl loved the song very much, and she would clap for him and tell him how great a job he did. But Rabbit said, no, I'd do much better job if I had more space. If you could put me on that dresser over there, I could do a better job singing my song. So little girl said, okay, of course. And she picks up Rabbit and she puts him on the dresser. And then Rabbit starts again singing his song. Picking peas, I'm falling on my knees with a little hop. Picking peas, I'm falling on my knees. And picking peas, I'm falling on my knees. And again, little girl claps and loves the song very, very much. And Rabbit says, no, it's still not right. I need a little bit more space. And little girl said, well, we have to get you more space. I need to see this dance. And Rabbit said, well, I think if you put me over there on that windowsill, I think that I'd have enough space over there. And the little girl said, of course. And she picks up Rabbit, puts him on that windowsill, and Rabbit starts his song again. Picking peas, I'm falling on my knees. I'm picking peas, I'm falling on my knees. I'm picking peas, I'm falling on my knees. And on this last verse, he says, I'm picking peas, and he does a great big leap right out the window, and he says, you can't catch me. And little Rabbit ran as fast as he could, and of course, the little girl could not catch him at all. Now I'd like to say that is the last time little girl saw that rabbit. But the very next day, she goes out to pick her peas again and puts them in her pail, and who comes following along, picking those peas and falling on his knees but a rabbit. And as they did this, the rest of the pea season. And that brings us to the end of Pickin' Peas. And it brings us to the end of our story time. So it is time to say goodbye. And we're going to do our goodbye song, which ends really similarly to our hello song. We have our American Sign Language for goodbye, and we have our American Sign Language for friends. And the song goes like this. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, friends. Until next time, have a great day.